Reports indicate that Javad Naimi, an Iranian citizen, was executed after stepping away from his work in the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. According to available information, Mr. Naimi had previously worked at the Natanz nuclear facility, and his decision to leave triggered a harsh response from authorities. Israel's Channel 14 reported that Mr. Naimi had no connection to any foreign intelligence agencies, stating that his decision to quit was purely personal. The outlet suggested that the regime's fear stemmed from the potential ripple effect of a high-ranking nuclear expert's resignation, a move that could expose internal dissatisfaction and instability. It added that the regime's later claim of spying for the enemy was merely a cover-up to hide the truth. The judiciary-affiliated Mizan news agency reported that a citizen had been executed in Qom prison, accused of espionage and intelligence cooperation with Mossad and collaboration with the United States State Department. In the following days, several outlets identified the executed individual as Javad Naimi, an employee at the Natanz nuclear site. The Committee for Reviewing Internet Restrictions at Iran's National Cyberspace Center has voted against lifting the bans on Telegram, YouTube, and Instagram. The committee, established last year by order of President Masoud Pezeshkian, met and ultimately rejected the proposal to unblock the three platforms. According to reports, more than 16 months after Mr. Pezeshkian's promise to end internet censorship and improve online access, only WhatsApp and Google Play have been unblocked, while the Ministry of Communications has focused its public messaging mainly on these two cases. Lifting internet bans was one of Mr. Pezeshkian's key campaign promises, and his supporters heavily promoted it to attract voters. However, experts say that during his presidency, internet censorship has not eased, it has actually intensified. The Supreme Court has rejected the retrial request of Manucher Fallah, a political prisoner sentenced to death and one of those arrested during Iran's nationwide uprising. With his rejection, the risk of his execution has now significantly increased. Manucher Fallah, 42, a father of a young daughter and a tattoo artist, has been imprisoned in Lakan prison in Rasht. The Revolutionary Court sentenced him to death on charges of waging war against the state by acting against national security. According to human rights groups, his case is based on allegations of setting off a small sound bomb outside the Gilan Justice Department during the protests that followed the state killing of Mahsa Amini. Experts have confirmed that the explosion caused only minor property damage, around 15 million tomans, and no harm to civilians. Anisa Fanayan, a Baha'i citizen, has once again been sentenced to 8 years in prison despite her retrial being accepted by the Supreme Court. According to HRNA, the news arm of human rights activists in Iran, her case was sent to a parallel branch of the Semnan Provincial Court of Appeals, which ultimately reissued the same verdict as before. Branch 10 of the Semnan Court of Appeals upheld her 8-year prison sentence, even though the Supreme Court had approved her retrial and ordered a fresh review of her case. Omid Saeidianjoo announced that new charges have been filed against his sister Zahra Saeidianjoo, who has been summoned to the Ahvaz Revolutionary Court. After the death of her brother, the late Milad Saeidianjoo, during Iran's nationwide uprising in Izeh, the family has faced constant pressure from security forces. Ms. Zahra has been repeatedly arrested, dismissed from her job, and even threatened with death. According to Omid Saeidianjoo, the security forces have now opened a new case against his sister, accusing her of inciting people to violence and conflict with the intent to undermine national security and propaganda against the Islamic Republic. In a personal note, Ms. Zahra wrote, "It's been 3 years since my brother was killed. Our path for justice has been filled with pressure, threats, arrests, and fabricated charges. During this time, all I've ever asked for is the truth, to know who killed my brother. It's a simple human right every grieving family deserves." Instead of justice or even being heard, I faced repeated arrests, psychological and physical torture, losing my job, and now another court summons with false and heavy accusations. I have never spread hatred or violence, only sought justice for my brother. If they silence my voice today, know this, the truth is still alive, and the fight for justice will never fade. One citizen from Khuzestan who had traveled to Pasargadi to mark Cyrus the Great Day reported that the routes and entrances to the site were closed, saying, "We came to honor our history and national heritage, but we were met with restrictions and repression." Also, marking Cyrus the Great Day, security, Basij and IRGC forces blocked the roads leading to Pasargadi to prevent people from gathering at the tomb of Cyrus the Great. This action has been repeated in previous years as well, while security agents detain and, in some cases, beat citizens attempting to celebrate Cyrus the Great Day. A group of nurses in Kermanshah gathered in front of the city's University of Medical Sciences to protest unpaid wages and legal benefits, including overtime and performance pay that have gone unpaid for the past year. A group of employees from the East Azerbaijan Welfare Organization gathered in the agency's courtyard and went on a work stoppage to protest low salaries and discrimination in administrative rulings. A group of citizens in Iraq gathered to protest the resumption of mazut, which is a heavy fuel oil, burning at the Shahzand power plant, voicing their anger and concern over the worsening air pollution. A group of Retired Bank Melli employees held a protest to express their frustration over the injustice and mismanagement within the bank, chanting slogans such as "Don't be afraid, we're all in this together," and "Forget Bank Ayande, start caring about us." They called on officials to address their dire living conditions and long ignored demands. Contract workers from the refineries 1 through 9 of the South Pars gas complex in Bushehr province stopped work and gathered to protest the government's and employers' neglect of their demands. The widespread strike took place across refineries in Asaluye, Kangan and Jam, where hundreds of contract workers chanted slogans for calling for immediate payment of their overdue wages and fulfillment of their long-ignored demands. Bakers in Mashhad once again gathered in front of the Khorasan Razavi governor's office to protest, chanting slogans like "We've worked 100 days without pay, fellow citizens, stand with us." They demanded payment of their dues from the government and Bank Sepah. A group of retired telecom workers in Isfahan, Tabriz, Kermanshah, Kerman and Kurdistan held a protest, expressing their anger and frustration over the systemic corruption and injustice of the main shareholder institutions, including the IRGC Cooperative Foundation and the execution of Imam Khomeini's order.